Moretto da Brescia is the name of the painter who executed this portrait of Fortunato Martinengo Cesaresco. Today, this painting is at the National Gallery of London.
Why don't you use the...
Fortunato was from the city of Brescia, but studied philosophy in Padua and devoted himself to literature, became an accomplished writer of Italian poetry. Fortunato, the sitter, traveled much, became a member of Accademia dei Sereni, and in 1545 he became director of the Academy of the Doubting Ones. But let us go back in time. He, Fortunato, was born in Lago. In 1512, here you have Brescia, here you have Lago di Garda. In 1512, the French destroyed the city of Brescia. Before the destruction, the mother of Fortunato had fled to the city of Lago. Here you have a possible portrait of the father of Fortunato, Cesare II, who was a general. This was executed by the painter Romanino. Here, the mother of Fortunato, Hippolyta Gambara, and she had a famous cousin, the poetess Veronica Gambara. So these two portraits have in common this by Moretto da Brescia and this by Correggio have at least two things in common, namely that the sitters were kinsmen, cousins, but also the fact that both paintings contain Greek inscriptions. Here you have a Greek inscription on the board from quotation from Homer. But I will now focus on the Greek inscription that you have here on the beret, and I will show you a detailed photo here. Sometimes it is so that the first letter is a tau, but it's actually a iota. The first word is an interjection, you meaning alas. And the second word is lian, an adverb meaning too much. And the third word is a verb, potho, meaning I desire. So the meaning of the inscription is, alas, I desire too much. The meaning being that the sitter, Fortunato, has everything what the life has to offer, including coins, riches, and luxury clothing, but he is still not satisfied. Some people are never satisfied. But then was this portrait executed? Professor Blackburn proposes that this portrait was executed in 1540 as a souvenir for his family before his departure for the Holy Land in 1541. So this portrait would only be for his family, as a souvenir, like a photo today. But most scholars propose that this is a Maria's portrait, for in 1542, Fortunato married Livia d'Arco. Amour. So most scholars think that this is a Maria's portrait. Livia d'Arco was the daughter of the Neo-Latin poet Niccolò d'Arco. But there is a complication. Already in the 19th century, a scholar proposed that you could actually join the two words in one word, like a liaison, like in French. And Fortunato was a poet. That was common to join words. So you can join the two words in a Julian. So the meaning would be, I have a desire for Julia. Some scholars have accepted this interpretation and others not. So who would be this Julia if this is possible? Is this possible to read a Julia? How would be this Julia? It cannot be the Julia of Shakespeare because it was written about 1590 in Romeo and Juliet. So, but Fortunato. No, okay. But Fortunato would have known the novel of Luigi da Porto, who was an Italian writer, Juliet and Romeo, the first edition, 1530, for setting of Juliet and Romeo, also in this version, is here, Verona. So, for Fortunato, was extremely well educated, so he would have known the novel of Luigi da Porto. So I would propose this, that you have here a Fortunato. This is a role play. He is playing the role of Romeo, longing for Juliet. So this would be an intertextual reference to the novel of Luigi da Porto from 1530. And one last thing, I would like to speak about the relation to the humanist Lodovico Dolce. Lodovico Dolce translated Greek authors into Italian, like Ulysses posthumously in 1573. And Lodovico Dolce wrote also comedies in Italian, like Il Ragazzo. And one indication how important Fortunato was is the number of dedications to Fortunato. So the intellectuals of Italy dedicated plays to him, like Ludovico Dolce dedicated actually Il Ragazzo to Fortunato. And we have actually a letter preserved from Fortunato to Ludovico Dolce, where he thanks Ludovico Dolce for this dedication. So we could almost imagine Ludovico Dolce receiving a letter from Fortunato. Okay, and so we know what Fortunato wrote. And I will read from the first line, and the last line here. Here, makes her the play Il Ragazzo worthy of a much more deserving and noble husband than I. So, but Fortunato is making a role. He is comparing himself to an unworthy husband who thinks that he's not deserving this dedication of this plain ragazzo whom he compares to a wife. So I would say that in this portrait by Moretto da Brescia we have the same thing, namely we have an intellectual reference to the novel of Luigi Laporto, Romeo like Fortunato like Romeo. So intellectual reference, but then we have also a biographical reference, namely to the marriage of Fortunato, namely he's flattering Livia, namely he is saying like, "Oh Livia, you are my Julia, but I am not worthy of thee." Thanks. Okay.